Academia.
Hello and welcome to episode 99 of the My Hero Academia podcast. I'm Kendra, and today with me I have Sophie.
Hi.
James.
Hello.
And Gary.
Hey.
And this week we got a little bit of a bonus episode going on, and we're going to be talking about who you would want to be stuck in quarantine with, as well as who we wouldn't want to be stuck in quarantine with. And we're going to start off with who we wouldn't want to be in quarantine with. Gary, you're...
My number three. My number three worst would be Najiri.
Wow.
Well, I think her personality, if you were like trapped like in a space with her asking questions and not waiting around for the answers, would be very grating very fast.
That makes sense, actually. Yeah, that would be really annoying.
Yeah, like I could probably tolerate her in small doses. Okay. My number two.
Oh, no, next is James.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were doing them all.
Mine's actually pretty short. My number 3 is Monoma. And I said because he's Monoma.
That's a good one.
I would just feel like it just not deal with him. Like, no.
That's such a good one. I don't know why I didn't have Monoma on my list, but I don't know actually. We've only seen him be annoying when 1A are there. What if when 1A aren't there, he's just like a little bit competitive about them, but he's mostly normal? It doesn't seem like
I've seen the way Kendo has to reel him in. This is his entire personality.
For me, I just did students in 1A. So I was mean. I picked Jiro because she would want to practice her instruments, and I would get annoyed.
Oh, I know why.
Yes. So I'm sorry, Jiro. I love you, but it'd be cool, I guess, because I could like learn how to play music from her, and she could like put on shows. But also, I couldn't do it.
Yours is very situational because now I just remember why.
Yes, for listeners, you can take a guess, but let's move on.
I'm with James. How dare you? Jiro was on my honourable mentions for best people to live with. But so my number 3 for worst to live with is probably Miss Joke. Like I like her, and I like dad jokes. But if someone's trying to force you to laugh all the time, like sometimes I just want to cry and sometimes I just want to be sad. If someone's trying to force you to laugh all the time, and also if you're sitting next to her watching TV, her shorts take up a lot of room.
You'd be touching those shorts. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like she would be really aggravating to live with. I feel like she'd also be very messy and she'd eat very smelly food and leave it out in the sun.
What?
Yeah, so it smells worse. Like if someone eats fish and then instead of like clearing the fish away, they leave their plate with some remaining fish on the side, and you come back and you're like, oh, it's a sunny day, that fish is more smelly now. And they're like, oh, it's just the remnants, and you're like, put it in the bin.
No, thanks.
And you just think that she'd do that?
I look a lot into minimal things, okay?
I think that's it.
It tracks.
But now who is our second least favorite person we'd want to be in quarantine with? Gary.
It's another character I like, but like a living situation would be challenging. I would say Fat Gum. The main thing would be he needs to eat food all the time, and there's like it's kind of hard to get out to get more food. I suppose a positive would be like people would probably give us free food all the time still. Maybe. I don't know.
I guess only if he was fighting you would need to eat food all the time. You could just like...
Yeah. I think he would like want his fat stored though, just to be safe if something happened too though. And plus like, let's say we both want to be in the kitchen at the same time. It would be really hard to like keep 6 feet away from him, like given his size. So that's another factor.
But then you could use him as a taxi. Like if you guys go for a run, it looks like it's just one person. But that's not good social distance. I guess if you live together, you don't have social distance. I don't know. James.
So I kind of have the same thought as Sophie did. I picked number 2. I picked Miss Joke. Look, I do like her, but I would just eventually get tired of her making puns and jokes and stuff. And then that, or like she'll either make me laugh to death. But yeah, Miss Joke would just seem I would just get tired of her shtick. No thanks.
For me,
I basically am Miss Joke, so.
No.
Don't do yourself down.
Yeah.
Azawa would want to marry you, Gary. It wouldn't be a joke.
And for me, mine would be a little bit obvious. Mineta, just because like any horny teenage boy would be super annoying to live with, especially in quarantine. I would just be like, shut up, shut up, shut up. But I think like even if he wasn't like being super horny for any girl he saw, he might be kind of annoying as well. Or he might just go stir crazy because he's like, oh no, I feel like he would panic about the virus as well, and that would be annoying.
Oh yeah, he seems like he's definitely a panicker, isn't he?
So no Mineta. Sophie, what do you think about who's your number 2? No.
So I got rid of all the villains off my list because they were too easy to pick. So my number 2 also seems like a very easy pick. Like I had joke people on there, but I think Endeavour or even the whole of his family, like even Todoroki, I wouldn't want to live with. I wouldn't want to live with his sister, even though she seems all right. Like Natsuo's pretty fit, but I wouldn't want to live with him. I wouldn't want to live with the mum. I definitely wouldn't want to live with Endeavour.
Why not Todoroki?
Oh, he just seems very
boring.
He's very boring. And I think, like, I don't know, if he was trapped inside, he'd want to renovate everything.
Make it all Japanese.
Yeah, and I've got stuff in my flat that I need to paint. I don't know. I guess I'm not quarantined because I'm going off to work all the time. So when I'm here, I just want to nap. So it's different. But I don't want renovations.
It's still a shelter and police kind of thing, so.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want any of them.
They bring family drama too, so.
Yeah, that's true. He's very, I don't know, he's very mardy. But I like him. I'm not pooping on Shoto. I definitely wouldn't want Endeavour there. He's much too grumpy. He would accidentally set fire to all my towels. And I just... He's too big. He's too big and clumpy. Imagine you're trying to sleep and then you just hear him walking, just going with his massive thighs. all that muscle's really heavy. And I've got like a wooden floor throughout the most of my flat.
I think that's a meme. There's something where like you could hear the himbo guy coming because his like thighs are clicking together.
Did I accidentally meme?
Yeah.
That's
what makes it funny. I think that's what they do for chats or something.
And when he gets angry and he has a hissy fit and he destroys stuff, I really like my possessions. Like, I don't have very many. I'm quite minimalist. And I've got a lot of plants. And I don't want him hurting my babies.
I guess
so it's never out.
Some plants like hot temperatures, though. So if you had, like, cacti or something, they might like it.
Yeah, and I do have a lot of cacti, and there would be a lot of bonuses to Endeavour be there. Like, you would save so much money on your heating bills. And also, you would be safe. And also, you wouldn't have any pesky visitors come around wanting to have, like, a casual chat with you. Because Endeavour's there. No one's going to want to have a casual chat with him. But, tongue him off.
Yeah, nah. So is Endeavour your number 1 for no-nos, or is it just the Todoroki family?
2, but just before we go around our number 1 no-nos, should we have some honourable mentions?
Oh.
I was like, before we go on honorable mentions, Sophie was talking about Todoroki. Endeavour would break quarantine to try to get with Todoroki. So you'd have to deal with that. He'd be outside your house looking through the window. Texting him.
Yeah, but why aren't you texting me back?
Yeah.
I have an honorable mention that could go either way. Ida, because he's organized and he would like know what to do and he would follow the rules. but also I feel like he would be such a stickler about like anything that he would drive me nuts.
I feel like he would try and cook for you and entertain you, though. I think he'd be a great host.
Mm-hmm.
So he could go either way, but I think I'd quite like to live with either.
Mm-hmm.
One of my honorable mentions would be Kanoko Komori, Mushroom Girl, or She Mage, because she like adds shroom to all the ends of her sentences.
Oh.
So
I would snap one day. I'd just be like...
But you get free mushrooms. Free food.
Oh, it's not worth it.
She creates life.
Yeah.
She's a god. Momo can't create living things. She can.
I had Bakugo down as an honorable mention because for a while I was like, he would be terrible to live with. And then I thought about it and I thought, unless you anger him, he's quite quiet most of the time. He goes to bed early. He's good at cooking.
Oh, yeah.
And he's disciplined into what he's doing. So he'd probably be like studying or working out. He'd be busy most of the time. He's not just going to be like sitting around, I don't know, cutting his toenails.
Mm.
So then I changed my mind and thought, actually, he'd like, as long as he doesn't hate you and want you to die, he might be all right.
Oh, I guess I put down Sato as another one who could be in between. Just because, like, it's nice because he cooks for you. But then, like, to use his power, he needs to eat, like, all the food, like, all the sugar. So that would be annoying. Like, if I want to have cookies and it's like, oh, no, Sato ate them all again. I'd be like, don't eat my food, Sato. But he bakes. And he has a rabbit, which is cute. It's a good stress relief. I could pet the rabbit.
That's Koda's rabbit. It's not Sato's rabbit.
Oh, you're right. Sato just make me cake. Never mind.
You said it so matter of fact. Oh, yes, Sato made me cake.
Give me cake. Are we ready? Or any other honorable mentions? James, did you get one?
I actually don't have any honorable mentions. I couldn't think of anybody with those. Anyways.
I have another one that's going to be contentious. Mirio.
For no?
He's so loud and got so much energy. And I really feel like I'm coming at this from a standpoint where I'm working in a high stress environment. But if I just wanted to cry, sometimes I want to cry. And if there's someone trying to make me smile, I'm like, leave me alone. I just want to cry in a shower for a few hours.
Oh
my God.
Yeah.
He's got so much energy. And if you're like stuck in a small flat and you've got his energy there, oh, I love him. It's tiring.
And if he had his quirk, he could also like pop out anywhere.
Oh yeah.
I'd be like, shit! And I scare easily, so I would not like it if my roommate popped out of a door, out of like the wall at me. I would not be happy. I would hit them with a frying pan. So
he'd be the naked roommate.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I would not want to.
Actually, I'm gonna agree with Sophie as an honorable mention. I pick Mirio now too.
Yeah, I don't have him on my top 3, but I don't know. I think I can handle him.
But now, what everyone's been waiting for, who would you least want to live with in the pandemic? Gary.
My number 1 is Mustard.
Oh, Gas Man.
Yeah, from the Vanguard Action Squad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to smell him. That's pretty. Pretty much my logic. That's pretty bad. But like that too, and his personality is like pretty rotten. Yeah, that's like the number 1 I like came to my mind. Like, yeah, no.
I like how you're so into dad jokes. You kind of made like an unconscious one where you said you don't want to live with the smell, and then you said that his personality's rotten.
Yeah, that was like. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
James, who's your number 1?
Okay, I will say that I did remember who my honorable mention was. I don't know if you still want to hear it, but
yeah.
Okay, my honorable mention was actually Spinner because he was very dirty boy, as you said before. Right, I mean, I'm a little bit messy, but he was extreme. I would not want that around.
No.
But my number 1, and this was kind of an easy one for me, Toga, because she would probably try to stab me and take my blood.
Only if she likes you, though.
So you just have to be like a complete jerk to her. But she wants to stab those
Dude,
people
then
too.
she'd stab me for being a jerk.
You can't win.
You can't win. This is why. I was like, you can't win with Toga.
You have to just be right in the middle.
Yeah.
And I guess for me, my worst one was Bakugo, just because he would be really loud. And he's like antisocial too, where he kind of hates everyone. So I would just get annoyed at that. And I like his anger thing would just like piss me off and like scare me as well. Like I would not find it endearing. I would just be like,
That'd be
ugh.
horrible, yeah.
Yeah, it would not like, and I feel like you'd get annoyed at like anything you did that bothered him. You wouldn't be able to talk it out with you. He'd be like, "Brrr!"
Oh, see, I saw the antisocial as a good thing
Yeah.
because he might be in his room most of the time, so you could just sort of commandeer the other rooms. And also, I'm extremely quiet,
Mhm.
so I don't think I would do anything that would annoy him. I'm also quite clean, so I think we would just live quite happily, never seeing each other.
I'm bad at doing my dishes. So I think he would get mad at that.
Mhm.
But
He would just be like, "Here, let me do it," and like
Yeah.
take over.
Oh, but then you don't have to do your dishes.
True.
Win-win.
True. Maybe I'll turn around on him, but I don't know. He's too loud.
Am I a Bakugo fan?
Yeah.
Secretly.
But Sophie, who was your least person that you want to live with?
My number one is your number two, and I don't have the time to be guarding my knickers from Mineta. I don't have the time to be guarding my knickers or any of my bras, any of it. Like, even when you've got your clothes out to dry, I feel like he would still be going for me. Any other character, I feel like you could just hang all of your clothes regardless of where on your body they go. And they'll be like, yeah, clothes are drying, whatever, it's fine. But he would sniff out
Mhm.
the extra bits.
Mm.
And he's nah, I don't have the energy for it. And he's moody as well. He gets down and mopey and moody all the time, and I want to be the saddest person in the room.
I would flip mine maybe that. Maybe I'd have Jiro as the person I would least want to live with, then Mineta, then Bakugo. Because Bakugo's not that bad.
Ooh, I've turned you.
Yeah, I'm just being really mean to Jiro, but
I'm kind of surprised that, like, I was going to do it as my honorable mention, but I thought everyone was going to mention it, but I was thinking Present Mike.
Oh my god, yes. I just did students, but Present Mike would be awful to live with.
That would be rough.
I kind of think, though, that if Aizawa can put up with him, surely most of the time he can't be that bad.
Aizawa's not trapped in a room with him.
Right.
Yeah, good point.
For like 2 months or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Well
They went
made.
through a lot together. They just deal with each other.
Yeah.
Right. Are we ready to move on to our best?
Yes. Da-da-da-da.
My number 3 choice would be Midnight. And not for the like pervy reasons that you're thinking. So
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so the big reason is like I've been having a hard time because I'm not like exerting a ton of energy, which I need to address somehow, but I'm like, I don't know, I'm pretty much trapped inside that I'm like staying up till like 2 a.m. So like it would be nice for her to just be like, hey, Midnight, can you hook me up with some of that some of those pheromones or whatever? Just like knock me out. Just knock me out.
Just knock me out. Take it out. Just do it.
Yeah, that too.
What if instead of releasing her like scent thing, her pheromones, she just punches you straight in the face?
Yeah.
Same thing, different method.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. It's a good idea.
Either way works.
That's smart. I wish I thought of that.
For my number 3, I picked Kirishima because we'd be workout buddies.
Oh,
and I feel that he'd help me working out and stuff like that.
He's another loud one, though.
He is a little loud, but I think I can deal with it.
I am the loudest person in the room. So if you can be the saddest, I'll be the loudest.
I will be the dad jokiest.
Yay.
James, what are you?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Because I'm pretty quiet. I'd be the quiet.
I think you would be the most normal.
Yeah.
You'd be the wealthiest.
The wealthiest.
I'd
be trying to make sure everything's okay with them. Just be like trying to keep the peace.
That's good. I was thinking like if Kirishima would be one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, he's got a really thick skin. But I'm
I feel like his loudness is manageable as well, because it's only when he's really emotionally invested in someone. And passion is an admirable trait. Like we've seen when he talks about his feelings, that he can go down to that level. He's not a hype machine all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So he would, I agree with you, he'd be a good one to live with. And he seems like he'd be dedicated, but unlike Bakugo, he would want to draw you in. So if, like Gary, you're thinking, I'm not very active, he'd be like, oh, don't worry, mate, I've planned like a workout session in front of the TV. Like, we've got enough room. Do you want to do it with me? And you'll be like, yeah, you're so hyped. This is really great that you're bringing me in with this. We can get better together.
Exactly.
Aw. Okie doke. I'm gonna switch over though. For me, I would have Momo as my number 3 because she could like she's like a 3D printer. But on the other hand, she does need like food to fuel her, basically.
You need to get that Golden Tips Imperial.
Yeah, so I would worry about her health a little bit, as well as like her eating all the food, maybe. So, or she's rich. She could buy stuff too. So like, I'd be set. She lives in a mansion. I would live in Momo's house.
She would be like, we gotta help the economy, and so like constantly like order stuff, order delivery and takeout.
Sure, she's paying. Yeah. I don't mind. Tip your delivery people.
Yes.
And she's a good teacher, so you could better yourself in the process.
Yes.
She's a really good one.
Yeah.
My third choice isn't anywhere near as good as all of yours, and now I'm thinking that I went much too shallow with my number 3 choice.
I'm gonna can I guess, or I'll guess.
You can guess.
Is it Wash?
It's not.
Ah.
And as a spoiler, no, it's not. I went for Sansa Tamawaki, which no one's gonna know. He's the you know the cat policeman.
Oh yeah.
I really like him.
Emotional support.
Where I'm living on my own and I'm working at the same time, I think it would really be really nice if someone else who was working like with you was there that was also fluffy. And he could tell you like some of the stuff the police go to is really hilarious. So he probably has great stories. We don't know much about his personality, but he's cute and fluffy, which is a very shallow reason to have him on my list. But he's cute and fluffy. He probably has good stories. We've seen him like being like at least some disciplined, and he's like saluting and standing to attention. So I don't think he'd be like a loud, messy grot bag. I think he'd be great to live with. In fact, I now want to put him as my number 1, but I'm going to put him as number 3. But Sansa, you're the best.
But you've got coughed up like human-sized hairballs.
Oh, that's fine. I've got really curly, fluffy hair, so we can amalgamate them together and then just throw them outside. And birds use your hairballs, if you have big, fluffy hair. They use it as part of their nest as insulation for their babies. It's environmental work.
Yay! I salute this.
Yeah.
You just to give Sophie a giant cat man. Trending.
I'm gonna change my list to him, Cat Nurse, and Miyashita. That would be perfect.
Nice. But who's your number 2, Gary?
My number 2 is Aizawa.
Ooh.
Interesting choice.
Yeah.
Explain.
Well, I feel like he would keep to himself, so like it wouldn't be much stress there. But plus he's a good friend. He's like super loyal to people, so I think too he would be willing to talk when you needed to. That's kind of the main reason. The main reason is that he like would be no drama to like little drama.
Mm-hmm.
I will say you'd get along with your cat, so.
Right, that's what I was thinking too.
You can lure him in and trap him with that.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
No, you can't lure the cats in. I'm keeping Sansa with me.
Oh
no. Okay. The ferocity of it. But James.
Okay, I know Kendra's not gonna like this choice, but I picked Jiro. Why? Because I'm a musical person and we can jam. And then maybe she could teach me some other instruments. I did put that the cons would probably be a lot of noise, but if we're all under quarantine, the neighbors can't go and complain directly, so screw them.
Would you let her on We Be Jammin'?
Yes, I would.
If you're quarantined in UA as well, you don't really need to worry about the noise because I'm assuming they've got very good insulation.
Yeah.
She can teach you skills. Good choice.
Oh, but I guess Aoyama was able to hear that something was going on with Deku.
The walls are paper thin in here.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, like, if it's soundproof, that's, like, dangerous, though. It's good, but it could be dangerous.
Or maybe Jiro has a soundproof room. I'm pretty sure she's put up some sound panels or something to keep the noise to a minimum.
Yeah, she's a conscientious lady.
Anything else for Jiro, the best lady?
Nope, just that. We can
Yay. I put Ochako as my number 2, just because, like, she has a really nice personality. Also, she was, like, grew up kind of poor, so I wouldn't have to, she was, like, already, like, if we do have to start rationing, she'd be prepared for that. And I don't know, she's also just very friendly, so I feel like she'd be, like, help everyone get along as well.
Cool. Yeah. Good idea.
Sophie, who's your number 2?
So I've gone back and forth on my top list, and as we were talking, I've demoted someone to an honourable mention.
Ooh.
And so I've changed my number 2, and my number 2 is Kan Sekijiro, whose name I'm not pronouncing correctly, but he is the blood hero, Vlad King, who we know very little about.
Why?
He has a pet dog.
Is it just because of the dog?
Why didn't you just get Dog Cop?
Yeah, Dog Cop.
So he has the dog cop is too jowly. I don't want Salad on the sofa. But so he has a pet dog. It's a small dog, and also Vlad King. We've seen that he's very caring. He knew about All Might's true form, but he didn't tell anyone. He was secretive. He genuinely cares for people, and he interacts like he will interact to show that affection. He's still got some competitive nature, so it'd probably be quite fun to play games with. I mean, he's kind of fit as well. That helps. He's an all-rounder. There's no complaints there. Do you have any complaints? No, I didn't think so. Boom, good choice.
I just was going to be he's a free blood bank or something.
I like him, so yeah, I can't complain.
But he sucks your blood.
It was a bit of a rogue choice, since we know very little about my number 3 or number 2. But I mean, a really cute dog.
Yeah.
So honourable mentions. I have a few.
I was I picked Present Mike as an honorable mention. Just because, he would teach me a lot about audio engineering, which is something I want to do now. So I think it would help me out.
I was thinking, oh, sorry.
I was just going to say that James is good at audio editing. That was it.
Oh.
True. I was thinking, Recovery Girl, because, she might not be, injured too much, but, she could give me kisses for emotional help.
I wonder if, that would be nice.
But not I don't want to
kisses.
I don't want to make out with anybody.
Oh, that's really great.
I would say maybe Coda, because then he could tell the raccoons not to go through my trash or something.
You can get the raccoons to get you groceries too.
Yeah, exactly. We could tell the birds to poop on my enemies.
Yeah, he could not lure, but talk animals into coming to visit, and then you can have all the support animals you could wish for, and they could be varieties.
Also, I don't have to go grocery shopping. He could just bring a deer to me, and then I can be like, Rah! I think that'd be illegal or something.
Just be Coda, look away for a moment.
Who's the Disney lady that dances with a dress and a pumpkin and has rats make her clothes?
I'm trying Cinderella.
Yes.
I was trying to say that you could reenact Disney princess scenes.
Yeah. And also he's really, really quiet. And he could talk to bugs. He could make all the spiders leave my house. And then or come in shifts. So I don't have to, he could tell the spiders, don't let Kendra see you. And we'll get along peacefully.
That would be good.
I was just thinking of the only good scene in Shrek 3, which would be when Snow White is luring the animals and singing to them, and then she switches to the immigrant song, ah, and they all attack people. That's that's all I could think of with it.
So I could use the animals for evil.
Yeah.
I just now remembered that scene.
It's literally the only good scene. It's so funny.
She actually starts singing the immigrant song?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen Shrek 3. I guess that's the problem.
Just watch that clip. It's in the trailer. It's really good thing.
Yeah, it's a very short,
Yeah, it's 5
reality.
seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess Ciro would be nice if stuff breaks. You could just tape it shut.
He's too sassy. Very sassy, isn't he?
Tape his mouth shut.
Yeah.
Could you use tape as a mask?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
No, it's not the right thickness because you use it as a mask, you can't breathe.
Are we talking about Ciro?
Yes, I think I said Ciro right the first time that I said Sarah.
No, I don't know who we were talking about. I was just okay.
Tape Man.
Tape Man. Oh, okay.
In that vein, then Beth Jeanist would be good at coming up with masks and stuff.
Ooh.
Oh, free clothes, brilliant.
Yes. Yeah. Or he could redesign your clothes. He couldn't make free clothes. Or he's a designer, maybe he has access to it.
He could also cut your hair. Which is very necessary.
Only a certain style though.
That's fine, at least it'll be cut. I went crazy and shaved my head down to a size 1.
Oh, don't worry. I cut 6 inches off my hair.
Wow. I'm growing mine out.
Yeah, but I've been cutting my hair for the last 6 months. About 6 months, 6 years. But my hair was much too long. It was getting in the way of the masks, so I cut a load of it off. But I had Sato down, and I was so tempted to put him in my top 3. But he's a big gym goer, and he's a teenage boy, and I don't trust those things to go together without a smell of BO. So that's the only reason I didn't put him in. Now, and we don't his personality. He seems like a really nice guy, but I don't trust the hygiene of teenage boys. I also thought that Tokoyami would be a fun one because I am a heavy metal fan, but I think he might be a bit too emo, and I've got no time for.
Also, Tokoyami, he's a bird. I don't think he can catch it.
Yeah, that's true. You might.
I was thinking, with your scenario, if he was your number 1, then Cat Cop would chase him, and then Vlad King's dog would chase the Cat Cop. It'd be a vicious cycle.
Be very awkward, wouldn't it? Yeah. I also had Jiro as an honourable mention. And the other one, right, so when I said that Vlad King was my number 2, there are 2 that I'm going top and tail with my number 1s, but I'll talk about them as we go around our number 1s, if that's okay.
I guess for me, an honourable mention would be Wash, because he could do my laundry for me and clean my house.
Wash.
Wash's powers would be nothing to do with washing clothes.
We know it's not. It really isn't. It's just him spraying water. So I guess he could just spray water and clean my house that way. But then why is he in a wash? There's so many questions. Why a washing machine?
If he only talks with wash, that would be very annoying. It'd be oh, what do you want for dinner? Wash. What does that mean? What do you want? Is that pasta? Is that rice? Is it noodles? Wash.
I would press a button to turn off the sound. I'd be beep 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 beep. I don't know. Actually, he could write it down what he wanted. We could talk that way. We could be letter buddies.
I will say that I would pick Wash 2 as an honorable mention just because I can ask him, "What are you?"
Do you think
investigate?
And he just answers. Wash. Damn.
When he sleeps, do you think he tucks everything in? What if you put him beside?
He goes inside the washing machine.
Yeah, like a snail. It all just withdraws in.
Brilliant.
Or if he crawls out of it and like then you can see him, or he's like, "Don't come in my room at night, or I have to kill you." And you're like, "Oh my god."
Oh, better that than the weirdness of whatever the horror mystery is in Netta's room.
Just throw him.
Like,
I don't know. Wash and spray Minetta down with a hose.
yeah, cold shower. I was thinking too, like Aoyama would be good for like free cheese on your windowsill at night. That would be good.
He would have to be the next house over because that's why he doesn't come in. He just leaves you food.
I feel like he actually would be quite fun to live with. Like, if you thought like you were really down and you, like, my skin's not great at the moment. So if I came back and was like, oh, I'm really down, he'd be like, I know, let's beauty montage. And then you could put on your best clothes and, like, do your makeup and, I don't know,
Face
walk
mask,
around your house all flat like dazzling ladies. That would be good.
Woo. Oh, are we ready to go for our tops?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, my number one would be Denki Kaminari. Just, I'm like cycling through devices, like charging them. Like, literally the only reason like he's number one, so I could like have full power at all times.
I was thinking that, but he's very excitable though, so that might be annoying. But it's good because he's like a cheerful kid guy.
And he takes direction well, so it's like shut up and stay in your corner, and he'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah. It's like anyone who can handle Bakugo and be a part of his squad, like they can put up with a lot. So there's something to be said.
Nice.
That's a good point.
James.
My number one, I picked Sato.
Oh.
Oh.
Why? Because I like baking, but I'm lazy.
Yeah.
And I feel that Sato has to bake stuff for his quirk, and I feel that he would do all the hard work for me, so I don't have to do it.
Like, yeah, he has to do it anyway.
I literally talked about cookies last night. But the only con to that is supplies.
Yeah.
That's all. That's literally the only con for that. But no, I would pick Sato just because he could make cakes and cookies and stuff for me.
Teach me how to cook better instead of just using cake mix.
We've talked about Sato quite a lot this episode, so props to you, James, for not mentioning anything else about him until this moment. Well done.
I guess my number one would be Todoroki, because like that way if my oven breaks, as well as like if my freezer breaks, he can just do it for me.
Just like perpetually hold this, like.
I like how we're just picking them, how like they're useful to us. No other reason, just like, oh, they're good for this.
I know, he's like an appliance. But he's pretty quiet too, and he's kind of funny too. Like you talk to him, he's actually kind of funny. Like I don't know. So I think he'd be nice to have. Like, and I think Ochiko would do a good job of like getting him out of his shell as well. And he gets along well with Momo. So see, it's a team. They all get along together. I'll let Momo lead. I'll just be there.
So who would your dream team be again, Kendra?
Todoroki, Ochiko, and Momo.
Ah. Yeah, I mean, Todoroki's very quiet, so having two bubbly ones might bring him out of his shell. But if you are a Momo and Todoroki shipper, you could be an awkward third wheel or fourth wheel.
Me and Ochiko will just be like, hey, Ochiko, let's go drink some tea over. Or, does Ochiko like tea? Tea's in her name. I'll go eat some mochi with her. That's what we'll do. She likes mochi.
Todoroki seems like a good one to get along with, but not like
Does
a
he come with the
standouter.
baggage? That's my issue. Like I said, you'd have Endeavor trying to break quarantine to try to get in contact with Todoroki, because Todoroki wouldn't answer his texts.
Yeah.
You could ask him who his actual brother was. Be like, show him pictures of Dubby and be like, really focus. Tell me how your brother died.
He'd miss the point still. He's so literal, he would miss the point somehow.
He'd be like Natsuo? No, that's not my brother. Anyway.
I would just talk conspiracy theories with him because he like thought that Deku was All Might's son. So he must have weird conspiracy theories about every single classmate. So let's hear him.
Just be like, who's the traitor? And he'll be like, there's a traitor? And I go off.
Yeah.
He pulls out an equivalent amount of Campos books. He's kind of like the opposite of Deku. He just has like a bunch of notebooks of conspiracy theories, like who's the traitor?
Oh, he's like, well, you think that's interesting? Let me tell you about the lizard people.
You mean the lizard tail cut? No, not her. So an actual lizard.
Spinner? Yeah.
Yes. But Sophie, who's your number one?
So my number one, I've been going back and forth, and I finally made my decision. And my honourable mention, who is not my number one or number two or three, I've just thrown her right out, Inko Midoriya. Because she seems like so good to live with. She seems very huggy. She'd give you lots of affection. She cooks great food, and we've seen that she'll do food on request. She's not like stuck to a food routine. She's very like compassionate. She seems just like a wonderful person to live with. But she has been kicked out completely, and my number one is actually Eri. Because I love having something to look after, and she looks like she needs someone to love her. And I would love to do that. I could like teach her about things that she's missed out on, and we could like, I don't know, I could like read to her, and we could talk about, I could read her my favorite books, and she could be like, oh, they're terrible, and we'll like find new ones or something. I'd take her like those terrible clothes Azawa got her away from her and dress her in normal clothes. Like, I don't know. I think it would just be really nice to quarantine with someone that like needed that love and affection, and you have all that time to give them that love and affection that they so need. And she seems like a really sweet, cute little girl, and how nice would it be to spend your time doing that? It'd be great. So Eri's my number one.
Eri?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who did you think I meant?
Yeah, I was like, where did you miss when she said Eri? And you're like, who is she talking about?
I want to give all my love and affection too.
I was thinking, the other positive with Eri is like you could make all the bad choices that you wanted, and she can just erase them, rewind them, and you're back to the start.
Oh no, too far.
I guess this would be an Eri that has control of her quirk though, or Eri as she is.
Even an Eri that doesn't have control of her quirk, because the thing is, if she's like emotionally stable and things, and you can talk things through with her, then if her like the horn on her head gets too big, if you monitor it and you have it under control, and her like emotions are stable, if it gets too big, you can just go for help elsewhere, and you can help her through that. So I don't necessarily see that as a negative, as long as you try and establish that like loving bond. And I'd really like to do that because I like to care for things. But that's my option as number one. I think she'd be great. Also, I know some people don't like children, but they're literally just people that want to have fun all the time. Children are the best. And if ever you're down, there's nothing like a child to bring you up, because they just want to have fun all the time. And it's great.
Yeah, I will say that my sisters told me that, her daughter, she likes that her dad's at home too. So they're like, because she always gets to have more fun. Because they're quarantined right now as well. So they're spending like all day with her. Yeah.
Children are great.
Yay.
But that is our quarantine special. We hope you've enjoyed it. And most importantly, we hope you're all staying safe.
Yay. And so where can you contact all of us? Let us know. Would you want to be quarantined with us? No, don't tell us that. I don't want to know. I don't know. Sorry. Or do I do? Let's see. Sophie, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Chopper's Antlers, and I will say that both James and Gary have got pets, so they're at the top of my list.
Nice. You can follow me on Twitter at Sniper of My Heart, and I do have another podcast about Haikyuu. You can follow that on Twitter at HaikyuuPod. I would say, no pets. I do have all of Haikyuu and some of My Hero, so I have some manga if you want to read that. But I also have a roommate, so I don't have a place for you to sleep. Sorry. But Gary, where can we find you?
You can find me at Wrath of Giraffe on Twitter. Sorry, I don't have like some cute origin story.
He has a cat. That's
a cat. I have a
Nintendo Switch.
PS4. Yeah. Not a whole lot either. I don't really have I have a cat bed you can sleep in, I guess.
James.
You can find me on Twitter at that one welder guy. I also have the Kicking Stones podcast, the Dr. Stone podcast. You can find that at Dr. Stone Pod, as well as the Weeb Jammin' podcast at Jammin' Weeb. And if you want to stay with me, I have about like 600 Blu-rays and DVDs we can watch.
Wow.
I have a bunch of books, some instruments, gigabit internet connection, PS4, Switch. Come hang out.
Yay.
Oh, I don't know what I have to try and entice people to live with me. I've got a spare room, plants, and a lot of affection. I will brush your hair and dress you in the cute little pinafores.
Actually, never mind. That sounds like something like trying to creepily like make you their doll or something.
Oh, that sounds really Vanessa, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No, I just want to brush your hair.
Dress you in pinafores.
Horror movie.
So if you want to sign up for Sophie's horror movie, then you can tweet us at MHA Pod. You can email us at myheropod@gmail.com. We also have a website, www.mhapod.com. And now in these trying times of quarantine, Corner Wash, find out what he is and go beyond.
Plus Ultra.
That's my favourite one yet.
Corner Wash.
The clapping as well.
This is my Hero Academia. This is manga news and more. Plus Ultra. Ooh, they're my Hero Academia.